Scene 1, Apple, take 1.
Hello, today we have the Motion V3 all-in-one 3D VR glasses with an Nibiru operating system and quad-core processor. Let's take a look. Okay, here's the top of the box. We'll take a look at what they have printed on here. You got a picture of it here, and down here it gives you some of the features that it has. Try to zoom that in for you guys. And by the way, it does come with a Bluetooth gamepad. Okay, and here's the actual layout of what you'll get when you open your box and take everything out, with the exception of the HDMI, which I have hooked up to my PlayStation already. Now here you'll have your manual for your Bluetooth gamepad. You'll have your earbuds. And you'll have a little bag that'll have a number of accessories like your USB cable, your HDMI cable, and I think the earbuds also came in there. And then you'll have your user's manual over here. And then they also give you a nice size cloth to clean your lenses with. And then you have your charger, and then your actual VR unit. Now I'm not going to say whether or not this is a PlayStation VR killer, but I will say that features were very important to me because you have so many of these VR units out on the market that it's really difficult to tell, you know, what it is that you need, like as far as features go. So let's hope that this video can help. Now with me, one of the major features that was important was your IPD adjustments, which on here you're pretty much covered because you have your left and right adjustments for your lenses, and as you know, everyone's face is different. And then on the top here, you also have a feature that will zoom the screen away and towards you, which also gives you additional focus. Now another good feature on here is you have two separate pads that do much of your operating, like you have your volume, your up and down, and then this switch, it's kind of like a menu, like a sub menu switch. And then here you can always go back by hitting this, and then this is just simply your power button, and then it also puts it to sleep. And this is where you'll do most of your navigating through your menu, and of course OK, you know, and this comes in handy when you're not using your gamepad or a similar Bluetooth device. And then on the bottom here, another number of features that was important for me personally is that not only is this thing Bluetooth capable, like for your headphones and your control pads and your game pads, but you also have a nice headphone jack, and then you have the HDMI slot, which is, in my opinion, the second most important thing from the IPD adjustments, and we'll get into that. And then you have something for your host, your TF card, and then your USB. And again, these things were very important features for me because I wanted something that I can not only play on my PlayStation with, but, and by the way, I only have a PlayStation 3, but one thing that I found with this particular unit is everything that I've hooked it up to so far, it was literally plug and play. I haven't really used the Android, which by the way is Nibiru, and I think it's the latest version. I haven't really used much of the Android features except for maybe to load up Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, you know, things of that nature. But as far as gaming goes on here, I pretty much have only hooked this up to my PlayStation and my laptop, and then that was really fun. So we'll get into that right now. Alright, I'm going to try to do the best I can to get this camera into the glasses and give you guys an idea of your main screen. You have all your apps, theater, panel, photos, and tools. Now each one of these will of course have a sub menu. Alright, now you also get full 360 view of your room. Look up, could look down. Nice floor, by the way. My wife loves hardwood floors. Oh, that's pretty cool. Alright, so this is pretty much going to be your main screen, and of course you'll probably have the option of a couple of different themes. Now it's kind of difficult to actually click through the menu while trying to hold the camera in here. So what I'm trying to do now is give you guys an idea of what's in the tools. Try to get a better. And these are the things that are in your tool options. And I think you need to be concerned, like if you're anything like me and you're a big gamer, that's your biggest one there. Because when you hook this thing up to the HDMI, like if you're going to hook this thing up to a Blu-ray player, DVD player, PlayStation, or any type of device with the HDMI, from my experience so far, it was just a matter of going to your tools, coming to the HDMI and clicking OK, and everything else just synced up. Even with my laptop, although I'm running Windows 10 on my laptop, I did think I was going to have to go through the whole control panel thing where you know, have to do the second screen. No, it was literally just plug and play. Alright, let's see if we can look at another menu. Okay, what I did was I clicked the app icon. Again, it's kind of difficult to hold the camera to the glasses and actually navigate, so what I'm doing is I'm sitting it down and then coming back. But the apps that are shaded out, basically what I would do is I'd go down here and not just move over, and then, you know, more apps will show up. And the more apps that you add, of course, it'll start filling up the room. But once again, I might add that I haven't really played games on here other than PC games and my PlayStation, so I literally have not gotten around to the Android games, but I'm sure they work fine because I haven't had any trouble with any other apps that I've run so far, be it YouTube or Netflix or Amazon or anything like that. And here's the theater. And like the other menus, you can look around the theater. Only unlike the ones with the that you have to put your phone in, you can actually just come in here and sit down and actually watch something. This is your theater. We're gonna do a 360 of the theater. I'm gonna look around, see if anyone's up there smooching. Cut that out. And finally, this is the menu that I clicked, marked Pay Now. I won't really get into any of these sub menus because these things just keep going on and on. Now, this particular room I like because it appears to be what they're telling us is the Milky Way galaxy. Here, let's look up. Look at that. You know, and again, just like all the other menus, you got full 360. Whoops, I accidentally hit the volume. But you got full 360 movement where you can just look around and get dizzy. Isn't that cool? The Motion V3 will also accommodate those of you who wear glasses. As you can see, the glasses will fit in these very comfortably. And then you can make the adjustments on the headband to accommodate the extra room. Okay, I'm going to try a very incredible balancing act here. What I did was I hooked up one end of the HDMI to the PlayStation 3. Then I hooked the other one up to here. I'm sitting on the floor, and what I'm going to try to do is zoom in here, give you guys a look at how to get that going. Now, I'm going to click Tools. Now, it's already hooked up to the PlayStation. I'm going to show you how easy it is to get going. And I'm going to go to HDMI. And let's see. There we go. So now there's your menu for the PlayStation 3. Now I'm going to sit this down for a minute and come back once I get a game loaded up. Okay, now that we have our game loaded up, I want to show you a couple of things here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go to that sub menu, which is right there, this button right here. So we're going to click that button, and then what you're going to have here is where it says switch screen. Now what that does is that allows you to do like your Google Cardboard, like your side-by-side videos. But by default, interestingly enough, this thing doesn't use side-by-side, but it does give you that option. Now, another good option, I'm going to try to keep this camera steady, is one of my favorite, is the stretch ratio. Now, hang on, let me try to, I'm going to be wobbling around because I'm holding like the glasses and I'm holding the game controller and I'm holding the camera. So I'm going to click the stretch ratio. Now by default it's on 50%, which will show you the entire screen of whatever game you're playing, right? So now I'm going to go down to 80%. I'm going to click that. Now on 80%, it's gonna fill up the screen, and you know what? What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna get out of the car so you guys can get a better idea. Now, hang on. Now with this, it fills up the whole screen, but now your guy will now have to actually use the glasses where he can actually look around the world. So what I'm doing is I'm panning the goggles left and right. And this is on 80%. So now when you're playing your first-person shooters or your third-person games, things like that, you're going to actually, it's going to be nice because you're going to be like feeling like you're really in there looking around. Now let's go back to that menu and go down to the stretch ratio. Okay, we're going to click OK. And now we're going to go to 100%. Now that will fill the screen. Alright. So now, when I don't know if I can even find my guy anymore, but basically now this world is like, you really can look around. And by the way, this is Grand Theft Auto 5. So when you're playing this, you're like really looking around. Hang on a second here. It's really hard balancing all this stuff, but it's so cool. So let me see if I can, okay, there's my guy. Alright, let me try to hold this camera steady. So now when he's walking through this world here, it's so much more realistic, you know. And again, this is just the default screen. It's not side by side or anything of that nature. And I think that's kind of why it's so compatible with so many things, you know, because you do have that option. Now, he's standing here on the corner, and I'm just going to pan the goggles. I'm only panning the goggles. Alright. I hope this gives you a good idea of what you're getting. And again, I'm not going to say this is a PlayStation VR killer, but I will say that for the price, which is just a couple of $100, in most cases like $198, you might be able to find it as low as $179 or something like that. But for the cost, and you know, the fact that this has a 1080p screen, it's 5.5 inches, and it has a quad-core processor built in. So you know, again, I've played games on my computer that actually come out looking a lot better than this, because my computer, of course, being a quad-core, you know, gaming laptop or whatnot, you know, and you're gonna have a higher definition. And then again, this is just a PlayStation 3. Okay, I hope this gives you an idea of what you're getting. Thank you for joining me on this review of the Motion V3 all-in-one 3D VR glasses. Make sure to click that subscribe button, click that like button, and follow me on Twitter for exclusive photos.